katoa, ngā mihi wāti kia koutou. Thank you for our second week of questions to our blog. We're really quite excited by the range of questions that we're getting, and one thing that we're learning is that I'm clearly not an authority on everything. So in some parts of the questions today I am going to be using notes, so I'm going to cheat a bit, but thank you very much all of you for taking the time to join with us and ask questions that are important to you. Kia ora, Eve. Look, there's 13 members on the Appointments and Honours Committee. I'm one of them, and she was supported by those on the committee to go on to the Families Commission, and I guess the most important thing for us now that she's on there is to ensure that she makes a constructive contribution. Look, Christine's personal life is her business as far as I'm concerned. If there are any concerns that I had around Christine, it would be comments that she made during the passing of legislation, section 59 of the Act, where the use of force was taken out of the Act, and she was one of the people who supported it. You know, based on those grounds, I'll be watching very carefully her contribution on the committee to ensure that she doesn't use her position, in fact, to promote the notion that it's okay for people to use force when they're dealing with their children. Kia ora, Carlos. Look, the budget doesn't come out until 2 o'clock on Friday, and up until that point it's confidential. But just to say that I think that we're satisfied that given that we're in a recession right now, that there will be progress made for our people through this budget. Francis, this is a difficult question for politicians to be even considering answering. Ariki issues are best dealt with by hapua niwi, not suitable for politicians to even be commenting on. Sure. Look, I was very concerned. I know that we're talking about very specific DHBs in this situation in terms of funding alcohol and drug services for Te Tai, and frankly I was outraged, number one, that they would take that funding and use that funding to in fact provide the service themselves. I think that's wrong. The services that were being provided were excellent services, they had good outcomes. This is a really difficult area, and it takes years to build up a really good workforce, and so I was very, very concerned at the way in which this particular issue was handled by the DHB. The problem for me is I'm not the minister responsible for district health boards, and it was very difficult for me to address, despite the fact that I did write a number of letters and also had quite a large number of emails about this particular matter. And what I'm hoping is that these matters may be able to be addressed in another way in the future. Trevor, I guess that what you're talking about is that the Ministry of Health funds differently to ACC, and that's true. And it is an issue that we're looking at right now because you're not the only person who's come forward with this situation, and I am of the view, exactly as you are, that if people get a disability, whether it's through an illness that has progressively taken them to a point where they have a disability, or whether they had an accident caused by whatever means, that their rights should be equal. And I guess that that's going to be the big debate. Should everybody who has a disability, regardless as to how they got it, be treated equally? Tēnā koe Rawika, really nice to get a question from you. Look, the Māori Provider Development Scheme, and I'm not sure whether you're talking about the one on health, but no, it isn't available for Māori businesses. But my suggestion is that you get in touch with Daphne Luke, and she runs an organisation called Te Arahanga mo Te Iwi in Otaki. I'm sure if you sent an email to Helen Lay, she'll be able to give you a contact number for Daphne, who runs a small business enterprise that links together many organisations in the Raukawarohe into a collective. So if you get in touch with her, I'm sure she'd be happy to share with you how they've been able to do that. Kia ora, Rawika. Tēnā koe Wānaro. Look, no, I didn't launch Te Pai Matua mo Te Roa. That was launched at Tolaga Bay in 2008 by Mitarurunui. So, not quite sure where to go to with your question, but no, it definitely wasn't me. Regarding the Y262 claimants, there is only one still living, and that is Sana Murray. She's from way up north in Kaitaia. My understanding is there was a hui held in Whangarei, and Sana was present at that meeting where Te Pai Matua mo Te Roa was proposed.